T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, this time we have a little bit of a thrift store find, or bargain I would really say, with me, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this. This is the Durst M600 Italian made, or rather in Italy made, black and white Enlarger. I mean, I know that today we're into the digital realm of photography and everything is, Lightroom, and it's about printing or sending off to a printer or anything like that. But I know also that there is a little bit of a counter movement where people start to go back and finding film photography once again. And this was a little bit of a bargain that I found at a thrift store. But anyway, this, as stated, is the Durst M600, and for all of you old school photographers out there that did darkroom, development for yourself, Durst was basically a very good brand name for Enlargers and other products when it came to the darkroom. But anyway, this machine is black and white only. I know that Durst also made colored Enlargers, but anyway, this machine is both 35mm and 120 roll film compatible, but not really, but more about that later. Or rather, the thing with this, it can take 6 by 4.5mm film, negatives, because the maximum area, or rather maximum size of negative that this machine could handle is 6 × 6 centimeters. So in that way it's really biased towards the Hasselblad square format of 6 × 6 centimeter negatives. But that means for me, as you might know from my past videos, that I use the Mamiya 645 Pro and the Mamiya RB67, so the 645 negatives, no problems, but the 6x7, unfortunately I need to crop those negatives a bit because of the design of this machine. And then a little bit of the features of this machine. I'm gonna just tell you right off the bat that this was an extremely lucky bargain find. This I bought at a thrift store for 150 Swedish kroner. And for your international viewers out there, 150 Swedish kroner, I have it on my cheat sheet here. It's compatible to about 15 euros or $15 or 12.5 pounds, so £12.50. That's what I paid for this machine. And it also came with a 50mm Enlarger lens, and this is the Meopta Bellar 4.5 50mm. And yeah, it came with this machine. And a little bit of a nice feature, in my opinion, for this machine is that a lot of the more classic Enlarger units on the market, they use bellows focusing systems, like you have micro bellows and so on, but this machine does one better in my opinion, because it uses a metal telescoping focusing system. So that's a little bit of a bonus feature in my opinion, that's a little bit more quality in my opinion. And it also has the standard, built-in red filters with these two little what should we call them, levers or potentiometers, or they're not really potentiometers, but with these controls here you can slide over red filters so you can measure in your photo paper before this machine will do the actual enlargement. And also another feature on this machine is that you have controls for tilting the entire machine. Of course you have the the zoom control, which is basically the distance between, not just, you have fine focus here, But with this control, you can control the amount of actual zoom or enlargement that you want to do. But anyway, this machine can also be tilted in the sides, and you can also, you know, raise up parts of the holder for the photo paper. But what is that usable for? Well, if anybody out there has ever done architectural photography without a tilt shift lens, which in itself is quite the investment, I know that even the more budget-friendly Samyang lenses, they have a tilt shift, but even that one is fairly expensive in some aspects. But anyway, this machine then can do convergent line corrections in order, you know, by tilting the entire machine. You can also flip this machine around, so you can put a big photo paper on the floor and use this machine to make a fairly large print. Apparently it is in the manual, so apparently you can use this for fairly large prints. So anyway, there's a couple of meh features of this, is that it's black and white only. I mean, there are other Durst machines where you can, you know, take off this piece and replace it with a filter unit for, you know, color photography. And let's see, I can put this together. Yep, and I know that Ilford and Harman Technologies make a multi-contrast paper, so it has a 7 by 7 centimeter filter holder here. So if you have one of those filters that will give you a different contrast, you can put it in here. And with this red lever, you open up the machine in order to put your negatives into a negative carrier here, and you have these sliders that is used to crop the image, so you get the edges of the negatives. But anyway, that's a little bit of the machine itself, and I have some example images that I've been able to do with it, and it works fairly nice actually. But then some other accessories to it. It's this, you know, photo paper holder with the slide rulers in order to, you know, really measure in so you get the right size that you're after. You have this Patterson micro focus finder, which you basically put, slide this open, you put this under the, you know, on the work area, and you can find and inspect the grain structure of the negative, and also to find, you know, it's a great way to find a more precise focus on the enlargement paper, or rather the photo paper. And another little gizmo that I haven't really used that much, but I think when I've understood the manual, this might also be a really interesting tool to use with this machine. It's the Ilford AM10 exposure monitor. What this basically is like the light meter in your camera. You put this on a medium contrast place on the work surface, and first of all you put it on the calibration number. So in this case, for this particular unit, it's 26. So you put this on 26, you turn it on, and from that you basically determine the exposure time that you would need to make a proper exposure for different parts of the negative that you want to enlarge. But anyway, there is an art form to do these types of enlargement prints. So I think Ted Forbes with the Art of Photography has done a little bit of a series on enlargement, enlarging and so on, and you also have people like Forest Hill Film Labs and so on. There is a ton of great tutorials on YouTube about dodging and burning, as it's so elegantly called, how you get the best contrast possible out of your equipment. But anyway, this is a little bit of the overview of the Durst M600. So now I just want to ask you, dear viewers, do you have any experience working with this machine? And if so, drop a comment in the comment section below about what your experiences have been. But anyway, this is Tobias Bergstrom from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I would like to see you guys. Oh, excuse me. I'm taking it out in advance here, but this is also a little gizmo that might be a good accessory to have with a Enlarger. It's the Neopta, or no, not Neopta, that's the lens. This is the HAUK, I can't really pronounce it, ATU 30-second timer. What this actually is, that it's connected between the light bulb for this machine and the wall outlet, and it is so that the machine will only be on for the time that you specify, and the maximum on this is 30 seconds. So in that way you can really time your exposures of the photo paper extremely accurately. So this is, and it also has a luminous paint on it, so you will be able to read it in darkness. So that's also a very good gizmo to have in order to do correct exposures. But anyway, this is Tobias Bergstrom, T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I would like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and maybe have a look at some of my other videos. Apparently that's what you're gonna say in this YouTube malarkey. But anyway, take care. Bye.